Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture 4 of Introduction to Python, and I am Atul. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the operators in Python. In Python we have basically following operators. First one is the arithmetic operator, next is the relational, then assignment, bitwise, logical operators, membership operator, finally we have identity operators. So let's first talk about the arithmetic operators. Basically these operators are very basic operator and definitely you know all these operators. So let we have two operands a and b, and if both operands are integer type, the result will be of integer type, and if both are of float type, or if any one of them is of float type, the result will be float type. Addition operator can be applied on the numbers. That means you can apply it on integer, float, as well as on complex number, as well as you can apply addition operator on list, tuple and string. In list, tuple and string it behaves like concatenation. So for these three, this plus operator you can say it is like a concatenation. It will concatenate to list, and if we apply addition operator to two strings, then this will concatenate to string also. Subtraction operator can only be applied on numbers only. That means you can apply the subtraction only on integer, float and complex number. Next is the multiplication operator. You can apply the multiplication operator on numbers, that is integer, float and complex number, as well as you can apply the multiplication operator between an integer and string object, or integer and list, or integer and tuple. So in these last three cases it will behave differently. So let's have an example. Let we have a variable a of integer type, let its value is 2, and let we have an string variable b which has some string, let hello. So if you apply the multiplication operator over this string, then you can write b into 2, then this will does what, it will repeat the string two times. So if you apply the integer and multiplication operator with string operand, then this will it will does a repetition operation, similarly for list as well as for tuple also. Next is the division operator. This is also called true division operator, and its result is always float. So you just applied this true division only on the number, that is on integer and float numbers. So if we have two operands and both are of same type, whether they are integer or whether they are float, or one of them is integer, the answer will always be in floating numbers. Floor division operator or truncative division operator. So this double sign is a new operator. If you are coming from the C or C++ background, this is a new kind of operator which has symbol two slashes. This is called truncative division or floor division operator. So this can also be applied only on numbers, and its result may be integer if both operands are of integer type, and its result may be float if one of them is float or any of them is float. But after the decimal point there will be no digit, that's why it is called truncative division operator or floor division operator. So let's have an example of this truncative division operator. Let we have a value a equals to 5 and let we have a value b equals to 2. Both are of integer type and we apply truncative division operator between them. The answer will be 2. So it has truncated the decimal part as both are of integer type. So decimal part is truncated, and if one of them is of float type, the answer will be 2.0. So the exact answer would be 2.5 if we calculate mathematically, but it will truncate the decimal part, or it will go for the floor value of this, and the floor value of this would be 2.0. Next one is the modulus operator. It is applied on integers and it generates a integer solution also, that is result. It is also called remainder operator or modulus operator. So if you write 5 modulus 2 in Python, you will get a remainder of 1. Next one is the exponent operator. So these two multiplication sign is work as a exponent operator. That means if you want to find something like a raised to power b in Python, you can use this exponent operator. The syntax is like you have to write like a exponent sign, that is operator, then b. So this is equivalent to this a raised to b. If both operands are integer type, the answer will be integer, and if both or one of them is of float type, the answer will be in float. Next one is the relational operator. So the relational operator always returns a value of true or false, and they can be applied on numbers or strings. Basically they are used for comparison between two variables or expressions. So first one is the less than symbol, second one is the greater than, next one is the equals to. This stands for equals to operator. So if you have two variables of same value, here I am saying same value, so if both object have same value, then they are said to be equal. So if I write a equals to b, the answer would be true. So let have another variable c equals to 5, and if we write a less than c, the answer would be false, as value of a is 10 and the value of c is 5. Similarly, there is an operator not equals to, then greater than equals to, and less than equals to. So if two values are not equals to, you can check them with using whether they are not equals to. Using this, the answer would be of this will be true, as 10 and 5 are not equals to. Similarly, you can apply greater than equals to. You can check like this whether a is greater than equals to c. The answer of this thing will be also true, as this is like greater than or equals to. So there are two conditions, whether a is greater or they are equal. So in this case a is greater than c, so this will return true value. Next one is the assignment operator. So it is used to assign some value to some variable. Like in this case we have three variables a, b and c. A has been assigned 5 and b has been assigned 3.2 and c has been assigned a string. So important thing is that at left hand side there must be a variable and at right hand side there could be another variable, or there could be some object, or you can say value also. But at left hand side there must be some variable. So this is called single assignment. Python supports the multiple assignment also, like uh, see this first line. In this line we have three variables a and b, a, b and c separated with commas, and we have three different values, 5, 3.2 and hello. So 5 will be assigned to a, and 3.2 will be assigned to b, and hello string will be assigned to c variable. There is another way to assign same value to all variables in a single line using this syntax. You just write variable 1 assignment variable 2 assignment variable 3, and finally assign some value which you want to assign it. So how this it works, it first evaluate this, that is 1000 is assigned to v3, then finally the value of v3 is assigned to v2, and then v2's value is assigned to v1. Python also supports the compound assignment operator. The general syntax of the compound assignment operator is like you can use any arithmetic operator. So you can use any arithmetic operator like plus, then you use the assignment operator. So this stands for, if you have two operands a and b, so this is equivalent to a equals to a plus b. So these statements are, both statements are equal, this statement and this statement. So you can use any operator with this assignment operator, and this is called compound assignment operator. So it is used as a shorthand for writing Python codes. Next one is the bitwise operator. In Python there are 6 bitwise operator. First one is the AND operator and OR operator. So they, as their name suggests, they work on the bits. In this case we have variable x value 5 and variable y having value 7. Its equivalent binary is 101 and y's equivalent binary is 111. So if we apply the AND operator between x and y, this operator is work as a bitwise AND operator. The rules are like, if both bits are 1, the answer will be 1. If both bits are 0, the answer will be 0, and if both bits are different, the answer will be 0. So keeping in this mind, if we evaluate this x and y, x bitwise and y, we will get 1 1 as a 1, 1 0 as a 0, and 1 1 as a 1. So you get a value 101 which is equivalent to 5. So that's why you are getting this answer 5. This is called bitwise OR operator. This is the bitwise OR operator. So this also work on the bits, and the rules are like if both bits are 1, the answer will be 1. If both bits are different, the answer will be 1, and if both bits are 0, the answer will be 0. For different bits, the answer will be 1. So if we apply x bitwise OR y, so we will get 1 1 as a 1, 0 1 as a 1, and 1 1 as a 1. So we are getting a answer 111 which is equivalent to 7. That's why the answer of x or y is 7. Let's see another two bitwise operators, which are bitwise NOT and bitwise XOR operator. This is called bitwise NOT operator. So bitwise not operator does what? It just does a ones complement of a number. So if we have a number x having value 5, which equivalent binary is 101 and y bitwise not, so what happened? We have to calculate the ones complement of x with minus sign. That is the result of bitwise not operator. So the value of x in binary is 101. To find ones complement, add plus 1 to it. So if you add plus 1 to it, you get a result 0. Then 1 will be used as a carry, then 1. The answer is 110 with minus sign. So the answer is 110, and 110 stand as a 6. So the answer is minus 6. Similarly, if you want to find x XOR y, the rules are like this. If the bits are different, the answer will be 1. If bits are same, the answer will be 0. So bits are like 0 and 1 or 1 and 0, the answer will be always 1. And if bits are same, that is both are 1 or both are 0, the answer will be 0. So you have to remember these rule for XOR operator. So the value of x is 101 and the value of y is 111. If we find the XOR of this, so these two bits are same, the answer will be of these two bits is 0. These two bits are different, so the answer will be 1, and these two bits are same, the answer will be 0. The answer is 010, which is equivalent to 2 in decimal. Let's see our last two bitwise operator. First one is called left shift operator and second one is called right shift operator. This one is called left shift operator and this one is called right shift operator, and they generally shift the number of bits assigned to them. So in our first example, the value of x, which is 5, is shifted 2 bits to the right side as it is a right shift operator. So we will convert the value of x into binary first, which is 101, and if we shift this 101 to 2 bits as a right side, and let this is our limiter, and if we 2 bits to the right side, the 2 bits will be lost, 01 will be lost, and this one will have 2 additional bit as a 0 appended to the left. So the answer will be 001, which is equivalent to 1 in decimal. Similarly, for second example, we want to shift the value of x, which is again 5. So in binary it is 101, and we want to shift it to the left hand side, and we want to shift it with 2 bits. So if you want to shift it 2 bits to the left hand side, and suppose this is our boundary, so we will add 2 bits to it at the end of this value. So this will become 10100, which is equivalent to 20 in decimal. Next are the logical operator. First one is the logical AND operator, second one is the logical OR operator, and next one is the OR operator. They works on the expressions. So this could be a single variable also, because single variable can also form an expression. So the syntax is, you just write a expression 1, then use AND operator. For using AND operator, the syntax is AND in small cases, then just write expression 2. Similarly, for OR operator, there is same syntax, and for the NOT operator, the syntax is expression and not, as it is a unary operator and both of them are the binary operator. So how this AND works? So AND first evaluates it, both expression are true, the answer will be true, its answer will be true. And if both are of evaluates to different values, that is true or false and true, and false and false, so the answer for these three will be false. So if expression 1 evaluates to true and if expression 2 evaluates to false, or false and true, or false and false, the answer will be simply false. And you can say if both expression evaluates to true only, then only the answer will be true. This is also called short circuit operators, because if expression 1 evaluates to false, so we know if any one of them is false, the answer is going to be false, or both of them are false, the answer will be false. So in each cases, if any one of, if left hand side is false, there is no need to evaluate the right hand side. This is called short circuit operation. Similarly, for OR operator, it evaluates like if both are of true value, then the result will be true. If both of them are false value, the result will be of false, its value will be true. And if both are of different type, the answer will be true. Okay, again it is a short circuit operator. That means if left hand side is evaluated to true, the right hand side will be not evaluated. Last one is the NOT operator, which works on single expression. It is called unary operator. So it will give the opposite result of the expression. So if expression evaluates to true, the expression NOT will result in the answer false, and vice versa. Let's check our second last operator, which is the membership operator. It is an interesting operator and you will see mostly in the for loop. So the syntax is, you just have to write a variable and just write in operator or not in operator, and right hand side there must be an iterable object. It is an important thing, it should be always an iterable object. So what are the iterable objects? So list, tuple, dictionary, string, set, these all are the iterable objects. So you can use them here, and at the left hand side there is a variable. So this variable is checked whether it is a member of this iterable object or not. Let's have an example. Let we have a value x, that is 5, and a variable y which is having a list object which has 6 values. So if we write x in y, that means we are checking whether x is a member of y or not. Similarly, we have a not in operator which just check whether a variable is not the member of an iterable object. So in this case, as x is a member of this object, so the answer is false. Last operator are the identity operator, and these are two, is and is not. Basically they check whether two objects have same integer identifier or not. So let's have an example. So Python does what? For these two statements, it just create one single object, and both variable a and b will refer to this single object. So the identifier of this thing will be same. So if I check id of a and id of b, so these will be definitely equal, both are same. Let's check another example. So we have a value x equals to 500 and y equals to 500, but in this case Python does not do optimization. In this example we have two variables x and y, both are having the same value, but in this case Python interpreter does not perform any optimization. That means for first line it will create an object with value 500 and assign it to a variable x, and it will have some identifier. Let it is, suppose it is something like this. And if we write second line, Python will create second object with having value 500 with a different identifier. Suppose this is the identifier. So if we check x is y, so this will return me false because the id of x and id of y, they are not equal. These are not equals. So this will return me false. So this is all about the operator. Thank you and meet you in next class.